Good morning guys, it's Jared here coming at you with yet another video. Today I got some crusty old bearings, so we are going to show you guys how to clean your bearings. Alright guys, so I'm not really sure what happened. My top two aren't that bad. I mean, they're not great, but my bottom two are awful. So first things first, we got to take off these wheels and pop these bearings out. Alright, let's get these bearings out. So we're just going to use our skate tool, pop off these nuts, and then I'll show you how to pop off a bearing. It's super easy. You don't really need any special tools. I know Bone makes like a bearing puller tool, but the easiest way to do it is you take off your nut, try not to lose your washer that goes over it. You take your wheel, you take your axle on your truck, and you just put it on there slightly like that, like not all the way, just like halfway on there. And then you just press and then twist it. And they should pop right out. It might take a little bit, but boom, pop them out like that. And I actually got a spacer on mine, so don't lose that. Just do that to the other side, and bam, you got your bearings out. So we're just gonna do that to all the rest of the wheels, and we'll see you then. All right, I got all my wheels and bearings separated, so now we can get on to the cleaning process. All right, now you've got the bearings out, let's talk about what you're gonna need. So you're gonna want some sort of cleaner. I use isopropyl alcohol, the highest percentage you can get. 90 is probably the best. If you have to use 70, it might work. But you can also use acetone, like nail polish remover, or even better, the best actually, is the orange cleaner. I don't have any right now, so we're just gonna use ISO. And you're gonna need some basics you should have around the house: a Ziploc bag, sandwich bag, and some paper towels. Last but not least, you're gonna want this baby here. This is Bone's Speed Cream. This is meant for your bearings. I heard you can also use sewing oil. There is a couple other brands that have bearing oil, so you're gonna want to find something like that. I don't know where you get sewing oil though. I don't know if they have that at like Hobby Lobby, but you can use that from what I heard. But I will tell you one thing: do not use WD-40. It will actually dry out your bearings really bad. So don't do WD-40, don't do baby oil. Try to stick to the real stuff like Bone's Speed Cream. All right guys, I apologize for my dirty hands, but these bearings were just nasty. They are just so greasy and getting grime everywhere, so it's definitely time to clean them. But before we do, I wanted to talk a little bit about bearings, because there's two different kinds that you'll usually see on skateboards. So we have these kind, which are, I think these are Bone Swiss, but they have removable shields on the back. These are the kinds of bearings that you're gonna want to get. You don't have to get the Swiss because I know they're expensive, but Reds, they should have removable shields. Same with Ondale. I don't know about Shank Junt, but a lot of big bearing companies are gonna have the removable shields. If you don't have those, you will probably have these. These are the cheap bearings. As you can see, these ones are pretty rusty and nasty, but they don't have removable shields. They are shielded on both sides, which is good to keep the grime out, but if you ever need to clean it or do anything like that, it makes it a pain. So I don't recommend these. If you have these, probably just go buy yourself a pack of Reds or something, because they're gonna perform way better in the long run, and also you can clean them. You don't have to keep buying new bearings all the time. But for the sake of the video, we are gonna try to clean these two and see what happens, but I definitely recommend getting the removable shields, and I'll show you why. This is why you want removable shields, guys. We're gonna have to pop all of these shields off. So that is one reason why you want them, because when you pop the shield off, you can really get in there and you can get it clean good. I'm just using a pocket knife here to pop these shields off. You're gonna wanna be a little gentle though, because they can break if you're not careful. Now, I don't know how well you can tell. I believe these shields were white and now they are black. So there's definitely a lot of dirt in there and debris. So we're gonna get these real nice and clean. So we're gonna pop all the shields off and then we'll get to cleaning. All right, now we got all the shields popped off of the bearings. We are going to take our Ziploc bag and we are gonna pop these bad boys in there with the shields and all of it. So we'll throw them in our Ziploc bag. And this time around, I am going to throw the not removable shield bearings in there. We're gonna see if we can clean them off as well, just to test it out. So we'll stick all that in the bag. And I'm also gonna I have some spacers. I'm gonna throw those in the bag as well. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to pump this bag full of isopropyl alcohol. So there we go, we got all of it in the bag. Now, let's see here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our ISO and we're just gonna squeeze a good amount in there. Don't be shy, be generous. This ISO is gonna get all that gunk off those bearings. So we will fill that bag up pretty good to where they're all soaking. Maybe actually a bit more. And I'm gonna give it kind of a shake. Be a little bit careful though, so you don't accidentally spill ISO anywhere. And we're gonna let these bad boys sit for a little while. And I don't know, maybe give it like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, half hour, hour. Probably the longer you wait, the better. But we are just gonna let them soak in that isopropyl and let it get all that gunk off. I can already see it starting to turn a different color, so we'll let those sit.
2 hours later.
Alrighty guys, now that you have your bearings soaking for a while, it is time to take them off, and we're gonna lay out a couple paper towels here and dry them off. Now the nice thing about using isopropyl or acetone is it'll dry off on its own relatively quickly, so I usually just kind of set them out and let it evaporate. But if you want, you can also use a Q-tip or something just to kind of get in there and dry it off a little bit quicker. So we're gonna set everything out here and let it dry off. All right guys, the outside is pretty dry on these, but I always like to get a Q-tip and just do the inside real quick. So I'll just kind of stick one in there and move everything around. It is gonna mess with the orientation of the ball bearings, but I like to get in there because usually there is some gunk that's just hiding out in there. Let's see. Still a little gunky. I don't know how in focus it is, but yeah. So I'll do a quick go around on all these guys just to make sure we get all the gunk out, and I'll try not to get any cotton in there. But yeah, we'll do a quick go around on these and make sure we get all the dirt and grime out. Alright guys, now that the bearings are all clean and nice and all that gunk is out of there, we can lube them up. And I also will say that the bearings that didn't have the removable shields, they're actually quite a bit cleaned up already just from soaking in the ISO. Like you can see, some of them are kind of rusty, but they're spinning a lot better. So that's pretty cool that it actually worked fairly decent. But anyway, so the way I like to do it is you take your Bone Speed cream, and I will usually do 2 drops on each side. So I'll go 1 here, and then we'll do 1 on the other side, and we'll give it a little spin, kind of work it in there a little bit, and you will hear the sound. It goes from like a dry sound to kind of like a wet sound, and that's what you want. And now I just use like a pocket knife, but you're gonna have to take the little ball bearings and spread them out somewhat evenly. It doesn't quite have to be perfect, but that's just how it's orientated with the shields in there. So we'll get them somewhat spread out. I don't know how well you can see that. Get them sort of even. And then you should be able to take one of your shields and line it up. And if they're all lined up good, or close to good, it pops right in. And boom, you'll have one freshly cleaned bearing. You can't even hear it. I don't know if you guys can even hear it. It's spinning though, so that is nice and fresh. Now we're just gonna do that to all the rest. Now we got the bearings in the board, and just like that guys, you have nice, fresh, super fast, and better yet, clean bearing. So I hope this helped you guys out, and I hope you guys get out there and shred.